Severe weather, a possibility across much of the area as we roll into your Saturday. I've got the latest hour-by-hour forecast timing the storms into where you live just ahead.
The threat of severe weather tomorrow has caused organizers of some major outdoor events to start thinking about other plans, what they're doing for safety.
A Central Kentucky teenager tells us she is determined to overcome a horrible accident that left her paralyzed, and she's getting support from the community.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you. We are tracking the threat for severe weather across much of Kentucky for tomorrow. Heavy rain, strong winds, and even a few tornadoes are possible.
So we have declared a first alert severe weather day to protect your family. And we begin tonight with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. He shows us what he's tracking right now on the First Alert Defender.
Yeah, guys, want to start out on the very wide view to get you caught up on what is going on elsewhere across the country, because that's going to impact our weather later tonight and especially on our Saturday. Notice how we have this little swirl showing up in the showers and storms across parts of Kansas. Then we have an additional plume of some strong and severe thunderstorms to the south of that. Not so much concerned about this as we are that swirl. That's an area of low pressure that is taking shape here, and it's going to work its way right across Kansas into Missouri tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon and evening right across Kentucky. Usually out ahead of that is where you can get some strong and severe thunderstorms, and that's indeed what we're going to be focusing on as we go into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Now out ahead of that, we will see additional typical run-of-the-mill showers and storms cranking up overnight into early tomorrow morning. Those storms could pack a heavy rain punch, a lot of thunder and lightning perhaps early tomorrow morning. Defender now, live First Alert Defender, picking up on some rains across the Georgetown area back into Franklin County. A little heavier burst of some rain showing up from Lebanon, Marion County back into the western parts of Boyle County, just to the west of downtown Danville. Here's a future radar as we go through the overnight. Watch our timeline and watch how showers and thunderstorms begin to pick up coverage and steam early tomorrow morning. One wave comes through around daybreak. Then look at the additional waves of showers and storms that we track as we go through the rest of the morning and toward the early afternoon. But if you're looking for the potential for out-and-out severe weather, that would come later tomorrow with a prime time for that, somewhere between 4 and 11 o'clock across the area. The best threat tomorrow, guys, is the farther south that you go. And coming up in just a little bit, we will take you through the weekend with an up-to-the-minute additional look at the hour-by-hour forecast compared to the one we were just showing you. We'll expand that out through tomorrow evening. It's got the latest data in the timing and placement of those possible severe storms.
Chris, thank you. And keep in mind, with festivals and events planned all over the Bluegrass, thousands of people are expected to be outside tomorrow.
So with dangerous weather in the forecast, organizers of the Rolex 3-day event at the Kentucky Horse Park and some activities at EKU are making sure everyone stays as safe as possible. Kristen Kennedy continues our First Alert weather team coverage.
The threat of high winds and heavy hail this weekend have already caused Eastern Kentucky University leaders to cancel 2 of Saturday's events.
It seems to be EKU against Mother Nature, and we have roofs. So everything that's happening inside, we're still doing.
EKU Director of Student Life Billy Martin says the weather will put a damper on their student and alumni weekend festivities, part of their annual spring thing. The big Sunday Best concert everyone planned to attend at the Ravine is moving inside.
We had a lot of great events that we were going to do to kind of kick off Sunday Best, and the venue was outside was going to be a lot larger than inside. So now we're moving it inside where there's a capacity of only 1,600, and we're going to have to do first come, first serve now.
I know that there was a lot of outside freshmen coming too, so with the limited number, I hope it doesn't discourage people from coming to our beautiful campus.
University leaders aren't the only ones making changes to big weekend plans.
We don't not ride just because of rain. We don't not have the event just because of rain.
Stuart Perry with the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event says in their 37 years they've never had to delay an event because of bad weather. If they have to Saturday, he says there's plenty to do while seeking shelter from the storms.
There's lots of shopping. There's a huge trade fair underneath cover down in here that if it happens to be spitting rain, that people could get out of the weather.
In Richmond, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Remember, we can help you track storms even if you are away from the TV. On WKYT.com, you can look at the First Alert Defender and zoom right into your neighborhood. You can also download the WKYT app for your iPad or your smartphone. It will connect you to weather tools, including live radar.
Her life changed in an instant. Less than 2 weeks ago, a Scott County teenager was left paralyzed after an accident during a motocross event. But despite everything that she has been through, she says she is determined to walk again. Her friends and family are doing what they can to help her. Garrett Weimer has the story new at 11.
It was a split-second decision to avoid landing on another rider. Its consequences were anything but.
So he walked off the track and I didn't.
Brandi Ogletree has done motocross for years. Her dream was to turn pro. Now she's paralyzed below the chest.
People have asked me if I would do things differently. I wouldn't. I'd go through this 100 times before I would risk someone else's life, because I've got my hands, and that's a blessing in itself.
Brandi spent about a week and a half at a hospital in Cincinnati before she was brought to Cardinal Hill here in Lexington to rehab. She says she's already made a lot of progress. Brandi says she's gotten a lot of support. There's a Facebook page, Prayers for Brandi, and a GoFundMe to raise money for her family.
That's a big help to keep things positive.
Even just hours after the accident, Brandi said in a post on Facebook she's determined to walk again.
I can already see some improvement, like there's leg spasm again, but it's definitely getting better, and I know I'll walk again.
That's something that can't be taken from her. Hope. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Now, in addition to the GoFundMe page, friends have also organized a benefit motocross ride in May to help raise money for Brandi and her family. She says that will help them make their house wheelchair accessible.
A woman has been forced out of her townhome she just bought because of a fire. Lexington firefighters say that fire started outside the home on Laredo Drive and then spread to the home itself before they put it out. No one was injured, but the woman won't be able to stay at the home for now. Firefighters say she was moving in today. They're still trying to figure out what caused the fire, but they say it may have been started by a cigarette left near a bush. Lexington firefighters have issued an outdoor burn ban until tomorrow.
Someone hunting mushrooms made a disturbing discovery in Rockcastle County. State police say that person found some human remains off US 25, not far from Livingston. Police say the remains included part of a skull, some bones, and tattered clothes. They think the remains had been there at least a year, possibly longer, and at this point, they have not been identified.
Some people want him to step down, but tonight Baltimore's police commissioner says he will stay on the job to investigate the unexplained death of a man in police custody. He released new details about the investigation today as demonstrators plan to increase their protest. Greg Boswell has the latest from Baltimore.
Baltimore's police commissioner says he's aware of calls for his resignation.
That's not going to happen. I'm focused on my job. I'm focused on leading this organization.
25-year-old Freddie Gray died of a severe spine injury on Sunday, a week after his arrest. Cell phone video of his arrest shows Gray dragging his legs, but police say they don't know how he was injured.
We know our police employees failed to get him medical attention in a timely manner multiple times.
Baltimore police are asking for help finding the witnesses in this image, including a man they say recorded the arrest from the middle of the street. 6 officers involved in the arrest and transportation of Gray are suspended with pay. Protesters are pressuring police to charge them.
It cannot be business as usual on Saturday in Baltimore, Maryland.
Activists want to shut down the city Saturday with a massive rally. Gray's death has sparked a week of angry, mostly nonviolent protests, but now there's a concern out-of-town demonstrators may have other plans.
We specifically are not planning civil disobedience. We don't know about others who are doing it, but whatever they're doing, we know that their motive is the cause for justice.
Police say they're committed to protecting the right to peaceful demonstration, and they expect visitors to do the same. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Baltimore.
Police say people arrested in Baltimore are supposed to have seatbelts on when being transported, but they say Gray did not.
Tonight, we're tracking the investigation into a deadly crash in Casey County. It happened about 5 this afternoon on Highway 837 near Hatter Road. That's east of Liberty. The Casey County coroner says a motorcycle and a vehicle collided head-on. The man riding the motorcycle died. His name has not been released. Investigators say the person in the vehicle was airlifted to a hospital with serious injuries. Some drivers on Interstate 75 ended up stuck in traffic tonight because of this, a boat. Police say an SUV hauling the boat jackknifed in the northbound lanes in Laurel County just north of Corbin, and that caused the boat to flip onto the road and blocked both lanes of the interstate. No one was injured, but it took emergency crews a little more than an hour to move the boat out of the way. Police say that both northbound lanes reopened about 7:30 tonight.
Family members of a Lexington man stabbed to death while delivering pizzas say they're searching for closure.
22-year-old Salahuddin Jitmood died Sunday night outside an apartment complex on Trent Circle. Police have not made any arrests so far in this case, but today Jitmood's family met with Lexington Mayor Jim Gray and Police Chief Mark Barnard to talk about the investigation. The family says they appreciate the hard work of police and the outpouring of support they've received.
We're so grateful to everybody in the community who has shared their remembrances of Salahuddin and has just poured love and support on our family during this time.
Some people in the community have asked if the murder was a hate crime, but Police Chief Barnard said it's too early in the investigation to tell. We have an update tonight on a burglary that forced a Letcher County fire station to shut down. Police now say they've made one arrest in this case, and they found some of the items stolen from one of the Cumberland River volunteer fire stations. The fire chief says the owner of a scrapyard where some of the items were taken helped firefighters get them back. Police say that thousands of dollars worth of equipment was stolen from the fire station on Tuesday night. No word on when the fire station will be back up and running.
If you had problems buying a drink at Starbucks tonight, here's why. The company says a cash register glitch disrupted sales at 8,000 stores in the United States and Canada. The company has apologized to customers and said they're working to fix the problem as quickly as possible. Some stores had to close because their cash registers weren't working. We checked with some Starbucks stores around Lexington. Employees told us their registers were among those not working tonight.
Some people in Perry County are on alert tonight for a bear. People living in the Woodland Park area of Hazard say they saw a black bear last night. One man says he saw the bear climb up a tree not far from the water plant. He says the sight of that caught him by surprise.
It didn't seem to pay anything no mind or anything like that. It wasn't paying nothing no attention. It was just more like lazy than anything.
Hazard police say they spotted the bear too, so they called Fish and Wildlife, who were able to scare the bear away. Wildlife experts say bears are attracted to garbage and pet food, so they ask people to keep those things where bears cannot get to them.